A stunning statement from a top Ukrainian official about the conflict tearing apart his country. The deputy foreign minister says Ukraine is preparing for full-scale war and calls on the rest of the world to stiffen its spine. His comments come on a grim milestone, 1 year since the ouster of Ukraine's pro-Moscow government. As Stephen D'Souza tells us, that event is being remembered with both celebration and anger.
Two very different ways today to mark an anniversary. Protesters rallied in Moscow, calling the events of last year a coup. Millions of people were deceived, this man says. I'm sure that they did not see any change this year. It's only disappointment and the destruction of the country. In Kiev, the revolution's epicenter, Ukrainian officials displayed captured military equipment, evidence, they say, of Russia's direct involvement on the front lines of a crisis that still engulfs the east. This Russian equipment is killing our citizens, is killing civilians. This week saw a fragile ceasefire constantly breached. In Debaltseve, where separatist forces drove out Ukrainian troops, signs of the fighting are everywhere, with residents still afraid to emerge from underground shelters. But there was some good news for the government today. As the president visited injured fighters, he announced more than 130 Ukrainian soldiers were coming home, a prisoner exchange negotiated as part of the ceasefire. Still, there are fears the ceasefire could be lost altogether, and a bigger battle is on the horizon. Ukraine's military says pro-Russian opposition troops are massing in the rebel-held town of Novazovsk, possibly preparing for an attack on Mariupol. A victory would provide the opposition with a strategic link to Crimea, annexed by Russia. Meeting with his British counterpart in London, U.S. Secretary of State John Kerry called out Russia for what he described as its brazen support of separatist forces, saying more sanctions are possible.
We're not going to play this game. We're not going to sit there and be part of this kind of extraordinarily craven behavior at the expense of the sovereignty and integrity of a nation.
Today, Ukraine's deputy foreign minister told CBC News that the stakes are very high in this standoff and that the country is preparing for full-scale war. He then repeated a request that Canada provide equipment and lethal weapons to help Ukraine. Stephen D'Souza, CBC News, New York.